I remember when I was a little teenager, I came across such paintings. I found them appealing, but I didn't really understand why they are so important. However, when I came to know how much they really cost, I was absolutely shocked. Let me ask you, how much do you think this one costs? Salvador Mundi. Few $1,000s, maybe $100,000. What about a couple of millions? Believe it or not, in 2017 it was sold for a staggering $450 million and became the most expensive painting to ever be sold at auction. But how did they came to the number? There isn't any specific mechanism to figure out how much exactly paintings should cost. However, there are certain factors that could affect the price. That's why they are sold at auctions, and whoever is willing to pay the most will take the painting home. The first and the most important factor that raises the price of the art is the year it was painted. The older it is, the more expensive it gets. Salvador Mundi was painted by Da Vinci in the 14th century for Louis XII. Throughout the 5 centuries, it had exchanged the hands of the allies around Europe and somehow survived up to our day, which makes it even more valuable. The artist's name is equally important. Da Vinci is the famous for his masterpieces. He was a scientist, inventor, a mathematician, historian, engineer, architecture, painter, writer, and so on. But most importantly, he is the author of the most famous painting in the world, Mona Lisa, which automatically raised the value of his other paintings, including Salvador Mundi. Since these paintings are so old, they haven't been always protected properly. I mean, they weren't always as valuable as today. Many of them have been damaged multiple times, and a lot of money and time has been spent to restore them. Since it was auctioned in the 1763, Salvador Mundini disappeared from the record for the century until it was bought by the British collector in the 19th century. The painting was damaged from the previous restorations attempt and has been attributed to the follower of Leonardo, Bernardo Luini. And for the next hundreds of years, it was believed to be a copy. That's why it was sold in action in the 1958 for just $59. Later in 2005, the painting was restored for $10,000 to the consortium who believed that it looks like a copy because it has been heavily overpainted. So they have spent the next few years restoring the painting, and the work was eventually authentic to Leonardo da Vinci, which skyrocketed its price. And that's how the simple painting suddenly becomes so expensive. But that's just a part of the story, because the real reasons why a piece of the art that looks like it was painted by the little kid is suddenly sold for millions of the dollars. Let's say you are a multimillionaire and you buy a piece of art from the primary market for $1 million and hang it on the wall of your office. After 5 years, you will make $22 million. You will have to pay a lot of the taxes on that. However, there is how you can avoid that. Remember, the piece of art you have purchased for the $1 million, surprisingly, now it worth $7 million. Its value has increased over the last 5 years. Since you're such a generous guy, you donate that piece of art to your favorite museums, and you deduct $7 million as charitable deductions from your $22 million income. Now you pay taxes only $50 million. Congratulations, you have saved millions of dollars in taxes. The media spreads the news about what a generous person you are, since you have donated a piece of art that cost $7 million, and the museum puts your name right beside the painting, so everyone knows that it's you who donated it. And that's, in my humble opinion, is why art is really so expensive. Art is great, however, the real reason why they are so expensive has nothing to do with the art itself. The elite of the society use art to avoid taxes and boosts their image. I hope this video was interesting. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.